understand that people could think I'm crazy. This could be karma, but you can't blame me for the way that I act now. I mean, it's hard for me to even function. I can't prove my condition to anyone, and if I could, why would they believe me? Makes you wonder if some people just aren't actually as crazy as you think they are. They're just doing what they have to be normal.
He's crazy. Even when my shades are down, he knows what I'm doing. He says he can see through my walls, but he's just stalking me. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm scared.
I try not to let people know. Telling my neighbors was definitely a mistake. And I don't know, the cops show up to my apartment all the time. It's just everyone thinks I'm a problem.
It's hard. I love the guy, but I do run a business after all. And his neighbors, well, people talk, and they're scared.
Since it happened, I haven't been able to hold a job for more than a few days. Vertigo is a huge issue. I have to be on the ground floor nearly at all times. I can't work in an office anymore. Obviously, no one else can read backwards handwriting. Driving is a huge problem. I have to take the bus everywhere, and it's just terrifying. Basically, I can't focus on anything. It was worse when I didn't have a system. I mean, organization's really what it's all about. It's forced me to see that objects can be deceiving, and that reflections really don't change as easily.
The guy needs help. I figured the least I could do is give him a place here. I mean, he's fucking troubled, you know? I couldn't leave him completely on his own. Not after all he's done for me. I owe the guy. I had a small apartment available on the first floor, and it's his as long as he needs. People think he's crazy. He has mirrors all over his house. He's always holding one. He never looks you in the eye for more than a few seconds. And if he doesn't have his mirror, well, it seems like he's on drugs. It's really very sad. No one realizes what it could be like not being able to concentrate on anything.
Imagine if every time you focus on anything, it just disappeared. I mean, as far as I can tell, the objects are still there. I just can't see them. And this keeps happening as long as I keep my eyes there. Blinking doesn't help.
So, when did this first happen?
Well, I was working as a construction worker on the street, one of my last jobs. I was working the jackhammer on some pipes, and this woman was walking by and caught my eye. She was waving at me, but I couldn't place her. And the next thing I know, the jackhammer hits the pipes, knocks me in the jaw, and I'm just out. My vision went blank, and just this loud ringing in my ears. That's all I remember. But the next thing I know, I'm home in bed in the dark, and my jaw felt fine. It was like nothing happened.
So there was no damage?
No damage? What do you mean no damage? I mean, there wasn't any physical damage. I just woke up and turned on the lights and started freaking out. Everything was disappearing. I was totally disoriented. I thought I was going to fall through my floor, and I could see the apartments below me and the people in them. I just started running into things in my apartment. The table, the refrigerator, the couch. Eventually, I was in the bathroom, and I just saw my reflection. It was the only thing that stayed.
I was with him for a year and a half. I dealt with it for 2 months, but I just couldn't take it. I feel awful for leaving him, but he was fading away.
Do you believe in his condition?
Do I believe in it? I believe him, but I wouldn't believe someone else if they told me they could see through things. But I believe him.
I think I understand why she left me. I wouldn't want to be with somebody who couldn't look at me either. At first it was hard because I couldn't look her in the eyes for more than a few seconds. But the hardest thing was that I just couldn't take watching her disappear over and over again. So I stopped looking.
Do you think she believes you?
She says she does.
I had to tell someone. I felt violated. For the safety of those around us, we need to know what he's doing. He's been watching me for God knows how long. Who knows who else? He's a crazy pervert, and I have no idea why Ted keeps him around. We need to get him out before something bad happens.
I may seem unstable, but it's just how I've learned to cope. I mean, to me, it's the world that's unstable. I use my mirror to see where most of the things I'm going to get actually are, but I always shop here, so I know where most of them already are. It didn't used to be like this, but I guess it's good to have consistency. Because I've used mirrors, I've been getting a lot better at reading backwards, but it's still really, really hard when I want to read an entire book. Yeah, I've been living here for 3 weeks now.
And where were you living before?
With my parents.
You want to talk about them?
Well, they took me in for a while after the accident, like any good parents would, helped me out with everything, and I wouldn't really go out. Michelle would come by and make me. She'd take me out, but one day I came back and they weren't there. They just left me a note. But I mean, I stayed, and after like 5 days, there was a knock at the door. I thought I was hallucinating.
He wouldn't come to the door. I kept knocking harder and harder. I must have screamed his name 10 times before I could hear footsteps from inside. The door opened up, and a mirror jutted through the opening.
I heard him say my name, and I knew he was real. I just couldn't believe it was him. I was so happy to hear his voice. Now I'm here, unless they kick me out, and I'm still learning how to deal with this, but I'll figure it out.